Every single time. I lost these two, so I brought this one. Yep.
Hi, this is Lori from LoroBees. I'm here with Rob.
Hi there.
And Nick. Say hi, Nick.
Howdy.
And we're here in our outyard. We have all apimays out in our outyard. We like apimays the very, very best for almost all of our yard, including our in-yard, because they are insulated. We don't have to worry about them. They have their own feeders on them. They're just an amazing piece of equipment. They don't require us to paint them or repair them or anything else that needs to be done for the apimays. So we just love them. So we are checking them today for inspection, see if we have any honey to pull. I'm about to get into this hive and let's see what we got. Okay, let's go in. Oh, they're happy and they're full. Thank you, Rob. Had some smoke over here. I can see we have some honey. I'm trying to just do a quick assessment to see like where I want to pull from. This frame here looks pretty promising, but I like to start at the end because it's easier for me. I'm not a strong person, and honey frames are heavy, and it's hard for me to get a grip on the first frame usually, and I may actually ask Rob to help me with the first frame. Oh, got a couple of dead bees right there. What? What, babe? Ready?
Yep.
I'm trying. My end won't come up.
Good. You can do it.
I'm trying. Okay. Come on, let me get it.
Yep. You got it nice and easy.
You got to be careful because the queen is in this box somewhere, so we don't want to roll the queen. I have made that mistake in the past. I've learned from that mistake. You have to go nice and easy. Somewhere on this frame could be our queen, so we do have to look before we take a frame. This is beautiful honey. This is what honey looks like in the raw form before we spin it in the extractor. I'm looking for the queen. I do not see her. Rob, would you like to do the honors of shaking? Because I don't shake very well.
Yeah, it's a heavy frame too.
It is a heavy frame.
These deep frames, when they fill up with honey, definitely add some weight. That's why a lot of people don't run deeps as their second, third, or fourth box, but I tend to do things the hard way in life. So just shake them off. Beautiful frames. That's what we want to see.
And then what we'll do is we'll look at each one of these and we'll replace them with another frame, an empty frame, so that they can keep on growing and learning and doing their thing. So there's our new frame he just handed me. But before I put that in, it's easier for me to take up the next frame if I have the vacancy of one frame already in there. And since this is so fat, because this one is really fat, I may need help on that side, Rob. Thank you. Now this one, from first glance, looked really good at the top, but as you can see, it's not filled in, and it's not filled in on either side. The rule is it's got to be 80% capped in order for us to take the frame. So this frame we will leave. We're not going to worry about looking for the queen because we're not going to take it, but I do want to be gentle putting it back in case she is on that frame. And I got my glove caught. Okay? And we'll push that to the side all the way down here. And then we'll take the next frame. Excuse me, girls. Excuse me, pardon me, excuse me. I don't want to hurt anybody. Excuse me, thank you. Okay. Excuse me, pardon me. Thank you. Excuse me. I know there's honey right there on the top and you girls want it and I'm trying to take it. I understand. Okay. Another beautiful frame of honey on this side. Absolutely gorgeous. This side, not so much. Rob, do you want to take this one or leave it?
Let's see. I'm gonna vote take it if everything else that we get is capped. That's probably the worst off one that I would take.
Now, if this was capped on the other side, because this is a frameless hive, frame, we could cut this foundation, thank you. We could cut this out and sell the honeycomb itself and not extract honey off of this particular frame. But since it is not, we're going to extract that. Here, Rob, do you want to do the shake?
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got to watch the moisture content in these. That's why people go for that 80% rule, and it's not a guarantee. But when you've got a lot of honey on a frame and it's capped, and all the other stuff that we have is 100% capped and has been for a while, I feel like we're in pretty good shape with it.
Excuse me, pardon me, excuse me. Okay. This is another one that is foundationless. Rob, I need help on this side, babe.
Okay.
Can you
grab your side. I'll grab your side.
Grab that. Got it? Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
That is about 80% full on that side. Let me spin it around here.
Hang on one second.
I am.
Let me peek in that side.
Oh, this side you want to see?
Yeah, so what I'm
What are we
looking for
looking at?
now, so we've got a bunch of drone larvae in here. I'm going to call it drone larva because it's got the larger cells. A lot of honey surrounding it. So we really don't, this is a fully capped honey frame. This is just some drone larvae there, which the extractor and straining system would get out. Go ahead and turn it around. Let me peek at the back side, see if we've got a similar scenario. And yes, we do. So we're going to go ahead and take that one too. Because that's actually a pretty good frame here. I'll shake that for you.
You got to make sure we're getting the queen.
Yep. That's why you always hold them and then shake them over the box. Yep. I like that one. That's good.
Okay. I'm going to do another one, and then I'm going to fill in some of these frames and move the lid. But for now, we're going to, excuse me, pardon me, excuse me, ladies, taking your frame. Thank you. I think these are more drone cells, Rob, because they're larger. I do see a lot of capped honey. What do you see there, babe? I can't see. Oh, there's
I see a couple things of concern here. So
yeah, I see this too.
This and that. So these, this looks like a super procedure cell potentially, but then again, it is in a position of a swarm cell. Just because it's on that edge, it doesn't look like it comes from a cell. Same thing with down here. That looks like a swarm cell for sure. That is opened. I don't know. Here, I'm going to peek at one. Hold what you got.
Hold on, I slid it off.
Rest it down there. So what I'm going to do to test, I'm just going to pull this back a little and see if it's old. It feels pretty dense, so it looks old. It doesn't look like there's anything in it, so it looks like it's either old and not used or what have you. Yeah, this is an old one. So they've swarmed a while ago. They may not be queen right now that I'm looking down at the next frame, but we're not going to take that because they've got some drones going on.
I agree.
So why don't you pull that next frame, see what we kind of got going on there.
Yep. They are really glued to the frames. Got it. All right. Excuse me, girls. One more time. Thank you. Stuck on the honey. Okay. All right, let's do this next frame and let's see what we get. Excuse me, pardon me, excuse me. Come on. Okay. Doesn't look like much to me going on there, Rob. What do you see?
Actually,
not on this side. What's on this side?
In here is eggs and larvae.
Yeah, see
loaded
that.
in there. So
Okay,
we
well,
are
I didn't-
actually queen right.
I didn't have that on
so
the other side.
that's amazing news.
See, I didn't have that on this side when
That's
I was
okay.
just looking. This side was empty.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a really, really good laying pattern, actually. So we know we've got a viable queen, so that's awesome. Pull out that next frame.
I am, because I can see
That
all the
one's
stuff on that
awesome.
one. Yep, I see it. Excuse me,
This is actually a really strong colony.
especially for being a little colony.
Yeah, it's on the smaller side for this time of year.
Here, you want to explain it?
Sure. So we've got a bunch of workers here. We've got another one of these peanuts. This looks like a super seeder here, just the way that it comes out of a cell. So out of a cell, but again, I don't see anything in it. It's quite hard and there is nothing in it. So that tells me that we are still good. I see a bunch of eggs and stuff tucked down in these holes along with a bunch of larvae. So I know that the queen is laying and she has been laying for a while. That's kind of the assessment we're making here in determining this colony is actually really healthy. And the next frame in is actually full all the way across, which is quite impressive. So that tells me that we're really in good shape in that colony. They've got a lot of workers on the way, which is really what we're after. So I'm pretty happy with the honey harvest that we took out of this one. We'll see what it ends up being. As far as weight, I'm not sure, but so far out of the yard, we've gotten one 10-frame box off the first 2 colonies that we peaked at. So that's a pretty good spread, all things considered. So Mom's gonna go ahead and pack up this colony. We're gonna stick our Premier frames back in there, see what we got. I really like Premier Foundation. The bees just seem to really build well on it. The extra heavy wax really helps tremendously. I know a bunch of guys who run them. And yeah, it's been quite a remarkable process. This is a yard that admittedly I don't get to as often as I should. So it is really nice to see when the bees are really thriving in their own kind of natural environment up here. So right now she's checking the other side and trying to see if there's honey on the other side of the cluster.
Not on this one.
A lot of brood.
A lot of brood and
Good.
some eggs.
It's a very well laying queen. This is actually one of the ones from Greg Burns' stock.
So this one does not have any honey. I'm going to check this last frame and then I'm going to add frames and we're going to close her up. But I just wanted to go through and make sure there was nothing on the ends that we're missing. This one's got some weight to it. Not a lot. Nope. Can't take this one either. Not all capped. A lot of honey liquid. It's not honey. It's not capped. Okay, so they're not going. So what you do when you're adding new frames is you put them on the ends. So I'm going to squeeze all of these together and put one here on this end and I'll put the others on the other end. Rob, you want to hand me one? And I want to be very careful because the queen is in here somewhere. We did not look for her. We did not find her. We were just doing a quick inspection. So I want to quickly push these back, being careful not to squish any of the bees. Excuse me, girls. Excuse me, excuse me. Okay. There we go. This one in. This one. And when you just kind of move them just a little bit, they kind of move on their own out of your way, which is really helpful. But if you go too fast like that, you take the potential of killing something that you don't want to kill. Okay, and we're going to push this frame all the way over. Rob, do you want to add those two frames?
So you got these two. We'll just stick on these outer edges here. And then we'll button this colony back up. We'll also come through, now that our flow is over, and start adding sugar water to the colonies. We do a 1-to-1 sugar water this time of year. And that'll help them start building up. You don't want to overfeed them because they'll run out of laying space. So luckily she's got a lot of cells. She'll turn over a lot of that space, but because of that in this heat, they really require a lot. So the fact that we're taking 2 frames of honey out, I don't want them to fall short on resources, so we're going to make sure that they've got more than enough feed.
I think we took 3.
To be able to take care of that. So that's all she wrote for that one. We're going to keep on moving down the row, keep our inspections up, and we're going to get after it, see what honey we can take. Put it back. Put it back. Put it back.
God, you're really a boss.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
But we already went through that.
What are you doing with this one?
What's this one?
I'm going to open this one up and see if we have any honey. We're suspicious that we may have honey on this top box, definitely not on the bottom box, and if we did have any on the bottom box, we would leave it as their resource. But we're going to look and see if we have any honey on this top box, and if we do, we're going to do the same thing we did for our previous honey boxes, and we'll take what we need and replace the frames. So here we go.
How's it looking? What do you see?
At first glance, I can see that there's some honey capped here. There's some honey capped here. I'm not sure that the whole frames are capped. It's hard to tell when you're looking at it from this direction because it looks like sometimes Rob and I have been fooled. We're like, oh yeah, that's a really good frame. And then when you pull the frame out, 20% might be capped with honey because from the look of it, it looks like it until you actually pull the honey frame. So you just can't make the assumption that what you're looking at is full of honey. You have to actually pull the frame and make sure it's all honey before you decide to take the box. So Rob and I learned that early on. So that's what we do now. We just kind of look at each frame and make sure that do we want them, and we make an assessment per frame instead of just looking at it at a quick glance and saying, oh yeah, that one, because that doesn't work. So now we're going to try this a different and pull these out. Look at this frame of honey I just pulled out of this box. Just as we suspected, unlike the previous boxes where we had 20% that wasn't full, this is a complete full frame of honey. So we will take this entire frame, we will shake it. Rob will shake it. I don't shake well. I shake, but I don't shake the bees really well. But I can shake, but not the bees. So Rob's going to shake the bees, and we'll replace it with another frame when he comes around. So I'm going to set this one aside for a minute while I look at another one, and we'll wait for him to come by and he can shake that one. Okay. We'll frame 2 of honey. All right, I'm doing the shake, Rob. I'm doing the shake. I can't shake them. You're going to have to shake them. I just can't do it.
Well, I don't shake. What's your little dance you do there? I missed that part.
Oh, wait a minute. I'll show it to you again. Wait a minute.
Oh boy, I asked for it.
I'll show it to you again. Hold on.
Oh boy.
Ooh,
Okay.
this frame is stuck to that frame. I'm going to lose honey doing this one, Rob. Just pull it anyway? Or keep them together?
You going to leave it there or are you going to take it? There you go.
Okay. All right. Oh, I just pulled up. Oh, gosh. This one is heavy. Heavy. Look at that honey. That is honey. Once we uncap it, that's what the honey will look like. And when we put it in the extractor, that's just the pure honey that's going to fly out of the honey, out of the hive. That is some beautiful honey, but I cannot shake it. And I'm not going to try with this one. I'll drop it. I'm not going to pretend to shake it.
Holy smokes.
I told you it was heavy.
That thing is heavy.
I told you it was heavy. Okay, here's another one that's completely full. This one is so heavy. How heavy is it? It is so heavy that I may have trouble lifting it out of the frame. Oh, I did do it. But this one has got honey that's been broken. And on this side, it's got the honeycomb from the other hive stuck to it.
Another frame.
That's the honey frames I just pulled apart. Shake, 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 shake. See, it doesn't work.
That was a good attempt though.
Thanks. I do try.
You did. You did.
Okay, let's do this one. Excuse me, girls. Excuse me, pardon me, excuse me, pardon me, excuse me, thank you. Get my thumb underneath of that. Oh, another beautiful frame, honey. Oh, we got some cells down there, bud.
So those are
Drone cells. Yep, they're drone
We're going
cells.
to take it anyway.
We're going to take it anyway because it's over 80% full and they'll get caught through the spinner. Here, you got to shake it. I forgot to have you shake it.
We're going to hope to take this whole box. We'll see what ends up coming of it. See how much brood and stuff we get into.
Right there.
I got her. Talk about her.
There's our queen.
Start over.
Okay, hold on.
I still got her.
Right here. Right here's our queen. She's laying beautifully. She's walking all over this frame. Oh, she just went to the other side. There she is on the bottom, coming up. Do you see her, Nick?
Yeah.
She's right here. She was right there, Rob. I just saw her.
I think I got her. I got her. She's midway up the frame.
Yep.
Oh yeah, she's really.
She's a really
pretty.
beautiful queen. Okay, so we're going to put this frame back
Hold
down
on,
in
let
there.
me show you how to do this because
Yep.
I run into these risky ones every
Wait a
once in
minute,
while.
Rob. You got my suit. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to put it in diagonal and give her a little bump. See if I can't bump her off into that frame. And it did, so I can see her there. I'm just going to wait for her to walk down.
You see her in
Yep.
there?
She walked up on the side of this frame, right there.
Yep, I see her.
So just trying to make sure I'm not going to crush her. Just watching her for a second. They don't like the sunlight.
She's right
and
here
stuff.
now, Nick.
Well,
You missed her. She's walked into the frames.
is she gone? Okay.
Yeah, but I have to look at these frames, bud.
No, you don't. We
Why
got the
not?
queen. We're good.
We don't want the honey
No.
off at this side?
No, she's got brood up here.
Okay.
So that's kind of what all that we're looking for is proving that we got a queen, seeing what all we got going on there. We have a queen. We physically saw her, so you don't get much better than that.
Need frames.
We're gonna stick some frames in. We got 5 frames out of that colony. Not as big as I'd like, but they're deep frames, so it's really like 6 or 7 mediums.
You don't want to check this last one?
Nah, it's okay.
Excuse me, girls. Thank you. Okay.
They speak English?
They do. They understand me when I tell them to excuse me.
Oh,
They know I don't want to squish them. Watch. Wait.
I didn't. Come close.
Go down easy. Look, you cannot
Oh.
go home with me. Stay here.
I bet you some do.
All right, let's go. Down you go. So there's our 5 new frames. Our queen is in these. We're leaving her alone. We're going to put the lids back on. Excuse me, pardon me, excuse me. I don't want to squish anybody. Excuse me, pardon me, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me. Thank you. I know. You don't like me. Okay. Excuse me. Ready? Here I come. Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Now I gotta get these bees off of the sidewall. Just because I really try not to crush them if I can avoid it. Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me.
I remembered them this time. It's a hard thing to do. Remember hive tools. So I always keep them everywhere. You always have one. Or you won't, depending on how many places
Where's
you
my
leave 'em.
hive tool? Okay.
Literally.
Well, I picked up your hive tool by accident. Instead
Yeah,
of
that's what I
mine.
was filming.
I need my hive tool. Thank you.
And then there were
Mine's the
none.
orange one. I keep the orange one so that he doesn't take it. So the orange one is always mine. It was given to me by Greg Burns, and I hold on to this one, and this is the one I use.
She's had her one forever, and I have a pile of them everywhere.
I can find mine. I know where it is. It's mine.
All right, guys, so that's a wrap out here at the Joptown Outyard. We went through, got about 1.5 boxes, almost all deeps, worth of honey out of it. So we're going to go home, perform extractions tomorrow on our new, we got a thorn manufacturing extractor. I'm really excited about that. We'll see if I can get some pictures and stuff on social media about that. Really pleased with that extractor's quality so far. So really excited about this. This is primarily our big honey harvest for this yard for the season. Everything from here on out will last them through the fall time, essentially, get them through winter. We'll put some sugar water on them and all that stuff, but
and we'll treat them for varroa mites.
Yeah, we'll get, now that this is off, we'll get them into our mite treatments, get on our regimen, and get down the road. So Mom and I had a blast hanging out with Nick and you guys, and getting some observations done and getting into it. So that's going to be it. We've got a bunch of stuff coming your way, and until next time, we're out of here.